Hello, wonderful people, and welcome to a brand new session of Everyone Dice, the queerest tabletop stream on the internet. Don't fact check us. Thank you for joining us on our second session of our brand new Sky Pirates game. We are all a little distracted for various reasons that will make their derby appearance. There he is.
He's like, what?
The majestic doofus.
He doesn't know what's happening.
No,
I
he's got
love
nothing
this so
going on
much.
in his head.
Yes. Jeez. What
I got a cat.
do we have? AJ got a cat. Yeah. It was a last minute thing, but
Extremely.
very exciting, and I hope you all are ready for the plethora of cat pictures that are going to be bombarded to you, because yeah, I mean, look at
If
that.
you're in the Discord.
Look at that
Only in the
derby boy.
Discord. This is Discord exclusive content.
This is. You can't get this content unless you're on Discord, or you follow me on Twitter.
Or anyone who retweets you.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Excellent. Well, let's get started here quickly, but we do have some announcements to make. The wonderful Kiana Lynn is going to take it from here, I believe. Yes?
Yes. All right. So, as you guys know, we are part of the Be Gay Roll Dice Podcast Network. And this week, I want to tell you guys about Dangerous Times at Chill Haven High, which is just as cool as the name sounds. So Dangerous Times at Chill Haven High is an actual play, radiophonic, supernatural teen drama that releases every single Tuesday. In the world of Chill Haven, certain places seem to draw on the strange, the unusual, and the monstrous. And when you are a hip young teen coming to age in one of those locations, it doesn't matter whether you are an aspiring scientific genius, a burgeoning telekinetic, or a social media influencer, your safety is not guaranteed. So the show is a mix of comforting and familiar, and like the surreal and the fresh. It's really interesting. Check it out by searching Dangerous Times at Chill Haven High wherever you get your podcast, or go to their Twitter at Chill Haven High for more information. It's a really cool show. You guys should check it out.
Yeah.
It sounded
love
like
the
you said
phrasing
an
of hip
expiring
young
scientist.
Yeah, an expiring scientist.
Yes.
You're
That
gonna
was
take him
me.
off the
I'm the
shelf.
expiring scientist. Chuck me in the bin.
Do we have any internal announcements, Scotty? Or
Oh gods, do we?
no, I
think
don't
we do.
know. Okay, well
Bucky
then,
was the internal announcement.
Bucky was our internal
Yeah, Bucky
announcement.
was the
That's
internal
right.
announcement. AJ has a cat.
Yeah, we love
That's
love
the
all
announcement.
our pets. That's why we have a channel dedicated to them. So
We do have an internal announcement. The
Oh.
internal announcement is we do not have the VOD from last week or the podcast ready yet. We are working on those.
mhm.
I was talking to Aaron and May about this earlier. They're the ones responsible for the VOD and the podcast. But we're going to, for these first couple of sessions, kind of play it by ear on how long it's going to take to do those at a pace that's comfortable for them. And once we know how long it should take normally, we will have an exact schedule for those releases moving forward after that point.
Yes.
So
They're on
we'll
their
let
way.
you all know. Yeah, we'll let you all know as soon as the VOD is ready and as soon as the podcast is ready. And we haven't decided yet where to host the podcast. So if you have any preferences, let us know, and we'll get that all sorted out and let you know where to find the podcast. So yeah, that's the announcement. The announcement is we don't know exactly what the schedule is going to look like for those yet, but we will let you know after we're a couple of sessions in.
Cool. I had just a quick announcement of my own. As I mentioned last week, I am part of the horror holiday anthology titled Yule. It is a really, really fun anthology I wrote a 4-page short story about the horrible monstrosity that is Elf on the Shelf. If you go to my Twitter, which you can find just through the Everyone Dice account, the letterer of that story actually sent it out as a sneak peek, so you can check out that story right now. It's really fun. It is a sort of little fun horror holiday rhyme. And I will just quickly... thank you, Scotty, for being on top of it. That is the link. If you could retweet it, shout it out, and if you can support it, that would be wonderful. Yes. So, I think with the announcements done, all of our hellos out of the way, I think it's time for some Sky Pirates, everyone. When last we sailed together, the 5 of you enacted your glorious plan to acquire an airship. You set
Without
fire...
knowing.
Yeah, without really knowing how to fly it.
That's fine.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. You set fire to a warehouse to draw the attention of the guards elsewhere. You dispatched the few who were stationed there before realizing none of you actually knew how to fly an airship.
I got someone fired for asking.
Yes. After a brief few minutes of trial and error, you managed to get the airship out of the warehouse and took to the skies. While you searched for this pirate outpost, previously known as Her Outpost, now officially canonized as Freedom Town, your new friend Rye has whipped up a nice celebratory dinner for everyone, which is where we now begin.
I need you all to bear with me as I continue to find Scarborough's voice. It's been very difficult for me.
Yeah. First couple sessions, we'll all be sort of figuring out our characters' voices and personalities and stuff, so no worries here. But yeah, you all sit down to what little food there was. Rye has managed to make this into a, sparse but still very good-looking feast.
I am gonna say I spent most of his whatever, like I think maybe 150 of his 200 gold on food,
Yeah.
so it was not sparse.
Hey,
What'd you make?
I spent all but 25 gold pieces on jewels. So
I think last time I said I made the cheesy garlic pull apart bread stuff, pot pie, and some kind of fruit pie. I don't think I wrote it down. Yeah, I didn't.
that
write
sounds
it down.
correct from what I remember.
Yeah, it was something like that.
We're gonna have to collect all of the meals. Like, you're gonna have to write
Literally
down all
writing
of the
them
meals
down.
so that we can collect them into a recipe book at the end of the
Oh
game.
my god, yes.
Yeah, legitimately, sorry, hold on, I wanted to, I would love to, do some kind of, now let's make some of the recipes from the show.
Oh my god.
So, dreams to come. Yes, you also have, you were lucky enough to find that there are a few bottles of alcohol, that you were able to find sort of hidden away in the stores that you were able to celebrate with.
Sorry. The little idiot got his mouth stuck in his collar.
Oh no!
So that's the end of that. It was a good idea until he got his mouth stuck in it.
Okay. To be fair, that will happen constantly, but the longer they have the collar on, the more they'll get used to the idea of, I can't do that.
I also may have left it a little too loose, because he's got a really small neck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Tilly was in a
Think it-
kitten collar for a long time.
Thicket will pile her plate very high with this food. I'd say it sounds like, with your talent, it might be one of the better meals she's ever had. So she's keen.
Yeah, it's definitely the best meal he's ever had.
Aloise takes a huge helping
Sorry,
of
who?
pot pie.
Who?
Sorry, Aloise. Anu takes a
Why
huge
do you
helping.
both names
Shush.
start with A?
No, you need to
You
listen.
did this to you. You did
Shush.
this to you.
New
Anu
world.
takes
who
a
dis?
big piece of the chicken pot pie and starts picking it apart to get all the meat.
V points at like all the crust and the gravy you're leaving behind, and he says, "Are you gonna eat that? Can I take it?"
Anu just scrapes it onto his plate.
Oh, he's so happy. He turns to Ryan. Mr. Ryan, this is the best food I've ever had in my life. And he just taking fucking huge bites out of everything.
I don't think Rye has ever seen people eat his food like that, because despite the fact that he came from a very food-centric family, they're all pretty polite about how they eat. Like, I wouldn't say they're uppity, but like they at least have like kind of some manners.
And Anu is just taking apart your dish and just basically throwing it in the waste bin she considers.
I mean, as long as it gets eaten.
I think V very clearly has manners. Like, he keeps his elbows, off the table. But like, when it comes to actually consuming the food, like going from plate to mouth, it's a fucking bloodbath. He will use his fingers, he will lick the plate, he will do anything to get every drop of food.
Scarfo eats very politely.
Rye will have to make extra bread just for like mopping the plates.
Oh my god. Yes.
If you can cook like this, why are you here and not rich?
I haven't gotten there yet.
Well,
Restaurants
that's
have
good
a very thin margin.
for us.
I
don't know what
one
that
of the
means.
things I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to open up my own bakery, because that's what everybody in my family's done. Everybody's got a bakery. But I'm not ready for that yet. I kind of want to do some other stuff first.
Like still ships?
No, that was an accident.
You accidentally joined us to plan a heist?
I
Yeah.
don't think.
I don't know how
believe
else to
you.
explain it. It was an accident.
It's impressive that you did that accidentally. Are you here against your will? Do you want
No.
us to drop you off?
Blink twice if you're against your own will.
Are you being blackmailed?
No. I want to find the 5 legendary bakers and learn from them, and maybe make the best bread in the world.
Well,
And he,
if you can cook like this, I think you will definitely get there.
V points at the cheesy garlic pull-apart bread, and then he starts like tearing off like big hunks, and he's like, "This is the best bread in the world."
Oh, it is not. It is not.
Could you have bone marrow next time?
Maybe.
Do you know how to make blood sausages?
Yes, that sounds delicious.
I don't really specialize in that. I'm more like baked goods.
Well, anything raw would also be fine.
Okay.
Raw dough?
Does that hurt Rye's soul?
Yes! Yes, it does! Because, like, all the good stuff that he puts into it is because of the cooking. Yeah, I'm deciding now that he is personally offended by that statement. It's not showing it, though.
Scarborough's
I-
going straight for whatever fruit pie we have. So, you know. I think he likes sweets.
Oh, and also, Anu isn't just like eating it piece at a time. She's building it up into a pile, like smushing it together, and then straight down the gullet.
Big vibes.
Extra
Ow.
wide mouth.
This brings an air of familiarity to the dinner table that makes V
See, but the thing is, Anu gets sick if she eats it in small pieces.
Oh my god. It's
So
perfect.
literally like a snake unhinging its jaw to eat a mouse.
Gross.
Great.
Bucky's
People
gone
say-
in full view.
There he is.
he says, I actually have a question for you. I'm looking for a man called the Azure Phoenix. Have any of you heard of him?
Have we, Casey?
How worldly are you all?
I've been
Not
traveling
very.
over 200 years, Casey.
Scarborough's heard shit.
But I am
Um,
specifically one area. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say you can all make history checks.
I'm smart. I like that.
You can too, man.
No, I mean I'm excited because
Oh,
I've got a
okay.
Thicket's
16.
got high intelligence.
I got a
18.
17.
Got 15, which I think was the lowest anyway.
Okay, sorry. What did everyone get again?
18.
17.
16.
Scotty? And you got
15.
15? Wow.
That's funny.
So you need either.
Pretty magnificent.
Oh my god, he's so cute.
So all of you are aware that Azure Phoenix is the code name of sorts that the Imperium has given to one of the members of Myriad, an individual who uses blue flame, and people have described them as occasionally looking like a bird.
Casey, could you remind me real quick how
Yeah.
when the Myriad joined the Imperium and all that, how long ago was that?
They're not part of the Imperium.
Or
They showed up on the scene about 5-ish years ago, give or take.
So are they like a pirate group, or
No,
are they more?
they are classified as a terrorist organization whose sole focus is destabilizing the Imperium and the guild structure to basically bring them down.
Oh, so Rai would probably definitely know who that is, since he's
Yeah.
pretty familiar with
Yes.
the guilds.
So,
Okay.
like, you know, like, the names of these individuals, but beyond that and, like, little anecdotal bits, not much.
I'm sorry, I certainly don't know anything actionable.
I know that they create opportunities for the rest of us.
Sorry, who did you say you're looking for?
The Azure Phoenix.
What did you say before that?
That I'm looking for a man by the name of the Azure Phoenix. Are you familiar with the name, Mr. Thicket?
Well, I'm not familiar with a man. I know a lady.
A name? Okay, and who is Miss Azure Phoenix?
No. I don't know, I'm not hungry.
Why? I know of them. I don't have her address or anything.
I need to find her. She might know where the Phoenix is, and I need to find her.
I'm afraid, though I know of her, I don't have any information I think would be helpful in your search.
I really don't have anything this thicket, so
It's been years.
I've never even met her, so anything can help.
Well, she always had very nice lollipops.
That could be useful.
And I like the red ones the most.
I've never had a red one.
Well, if you meet her and she offers you one, ask for the red one.
Alright, I'll make a note of that. And yeah, he does. He writes it down.
Sorry, I wish I knew something more. I just was caught off guard by your search.
It's alright. I appreciate you telling me anything at all. I really didn't have anything. Thank you.
Are
do
you looking for them to kill them?
No. No. Not this person. Not right now. No. I'm not going to kill her. And he just says that and starts writing in his notebook again.
Your conviction is inspiring.
Thank you, Mrs. Anu.
Mrs.?
Miss. Sorry. That was a slip of my tongue. Because I forgot there's an actual difference between the two.
I mean, she's old enough, but you don't know that.
So when we
She's
go
way old enough.
to the wood below, what are we doing? Where are we going exactly?
Bastion first.
I would love to meet the people in the world below.
Never been?
I've traveled mostly away from civilization in my travels.
Why?
Oh, I was searching for an ancient relic to my religion.
Did you find it?
I did. It is right here, and she shows the ring that's on her finger.
What does it do?
That's lovely.
It protects from the infestation of the dark powers of the Destroyer.
Does
That sounds
anyone
good.
like look at the ring, or do you just glance at it?
I'd look at the ring.
I think
Yeah,
it's like at the
Scarborough's
ring.
Would you like to describe the ring, Aaron?
Let's have you describe it, Casey.
What you see around Anu's finger definitely resembles a ring, but as you look closer, you see that it is some kind of petrified worm-like entity almost, like coiled around her finger.
Great.
It was once a piece of the Destroyer, now used to ward against it.
Do I know what the
It's really cool.
Destroyer is?
I was just gonna ask that.
Yeah, can I investigate this sentiment?
You do. I will ask both of you to make a religion check to see how much specifically you know, but you know at least some basic stuff about it.
Okay, religion.
Unless I'm wrong, I get the feeling they
But
wouldn't have any
before,
clue.
Alois was like hush hush about her religion, and it was like, this is what my religion is about. Maybe you want to help.
I know nothing about the Destroyer. I got a 4. That's a natural 1.
You still know, the basics at least. Let me.
My failure woke Bucky up.
Oh no. You disturbed him.
So, you know that the Destroyer is the first of the entities known as the Untamed, which are powerful beings who are akin to gods, but not. The Destroyer was a being that tried to swallow Wyndear whole and was only defeated by the combined efforts of the gods and a cavalcade of higher powers. You know that the Destroyer, it is believed that the Destroyer was then sealed inside the world of Wyndear.
This all sounds familiar in concept to V, who immediately squints at the ring and then looks at Anu, and sort of
Yes, by the direction of the goddess Kalesh, I sought it out in her eternal battle against the Destroyer.
So you don't worship the Destroyer?
No. Oh. No. I would love to be able to see a day where it is wiped out from existence.
I would like to roll an insight check on that statement right there.
You go right ahead. And Anu, I would like you to roll whatever you're going to roll. And
I'm not.
I know. And you can.
Do you want religion or persuasion, Casey? I don't know.
Well, if you're trying to hide anything, obviously you would roll. But if you're not, then just don't worry about it. If you just. What did you roll, V?
I got a 6.
Anu in general is kind of hard to read. Facial expressions are kind of limited, and tone is difficult for you. You don't sense any mistrust, though. You obviously get the feeling that, you're obviously not getting the full picture of things, but you don't sense that she's trying to keep anything from you.
While Anu was saying that she hopes that she sees the day the Destroyer is annihilated from existence, she had her hand over her religious icon that's on her chest.
Okay, sure. V goes back to eating.
I do as well.
Horrible.
Yes, because that's the sound a snake makes when it
Yeah.
eats.
Oh, please don't ever
That's
do
worse.
Let's not have that. No, let's not have that happen. Thanks.
The first one was bad. The second one was objectively worse.
Can I just request that we not mimic eating sounds at all? Please?
Yes, okay.
I think that's valid.
You said it was wrong.
It was wrong. That wasn't an invitation to mimic the actual sounds.
Anu eating ASMR.
Yeah, wait. What was the Lizard Man ASMR? And then now, next up in this series will be Anu eating ASMR.
Just the worst possible ASMR series.
I'll say, Mr. Rose, can I ask, what's waiting in Bastion?
I have to pick someone up. And it's going to be the best place to find work so that we can fund anything we wish to do with this ship.
I intend
Yes,
to
it is
stay
rather
on.
drab.
For wherever this takes us after Banished.
I have... there are any number of things we could do. Obviously, I have my connections. It would be easy enough for me to continue finding the kind of work I've been doing.
What kind of work have you been doing?
I'm a smuggler.
What's that?
I acquire resources and take them to places that need them.
Stealing?
Yeah, just like we acquired this ship.
Yes. Precisely.
That's not so bad.
I am fully alright with that, as I suspect that the Destroyer has minions amongst the Legion and the Imperium.
What's the Legion?
They don't exist.
Shh! In the doc it says they're part of it. Shh! The lore doc says that it's a part of it now.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but they were like folded into the military guild, so
They're now just part of the Imperium.
they're not like a separate
The
entity.
Imperium, then.
Yes, correct.
And that is where mostly I acquire my materials and resources from Imperium warehouses and strongholds. They don't need it.
And transports.
Is it hard?
It can be.
I suspect it depends on the cargo.
Do we
How
have
do
to kill
you
people?
do it?
Sometimes. I try not to, because often they're just trying to make ends meet themselves, but
Do you smuggle people? Is that a thing?
not slaves, if that's what you're asking. But if someone wants to leave, like I did, well, a smuggler's the safest way out.
Yes.
Have you ever done that?
Once or twice. You don't get a lot of people who try to leave the way I did.
How did you leave?
In the dead of night, no notice to my family except for my older sibling who helped me leave. We found a smuggler. They helped me get out.
I have done this too. It's hard.
Smuggled or been smuggled out?
I didn't quite know it was smuggling at the time, but I suppose, in a way, I was smuggled out of my home. Willingly. Enough.
There are people in other families, other situations that it's not as difficult to leave, but for some of us, it's something that's noticed. And so you need help to get out.
Were you also on an island?
If you consider the lands above to be islands,
Aren't they?
they are.
They're called Sky Islands.
Skylands, if you will.
Yes.
Skylands!
I'm glad I'm not the only one who went there.
I went there in the first campaign and got brutally tortured by you all, so I decided not to go there this time around.
I didn't
You can't
remember
win
that.
either way. You can't
Yeah, I
win
didn't
either
remember
way,
that
you
either.
shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's
Damn
where my
Valley
brain
of
is at.
friendship.
Damned if I do,
Yeah.
damned if I don't. I love you guys.
V says to Thicket, how did you get away from home.
I guess I smuggled myself. Is that normal? Does everyone
you're-
smuggle themselves?
If
Did
you're
you?
leaving without
Right?
permission, yeah.
Yeah, Ryan, did you guys also get smuggled away from your homes?
I suppose I'm in the same boat as Thicket in that I smuggled myself out.
So it's common.
4 out of 5, I'd say, based on my experiences. That's the majority of the people's population.
I don't
Their
I
experiences.
don't think that's I don't know if that's how statistics works.
I don't know what statistics are.
Numbers. It's numbers.
I mean, if you ask people on a pirate ship, they're probably going to say that they did that.
Yeah.
So in a sample
the people
size
who
of
participate in
pirates,
a job
it's a
like
majority
this-
of which are smuggled out from homes.
Wait,
That would be more accurate.
pirates?
Yes.
Is that not what
We're
we are?
officially pirates. We've stolen a ship. I was already a pirate, but
Aren't pirates kind of bad?
No.
That's a loaded question.
Depends on the pirate. Just like
Depends
it depends
who.
on the person.
Depends what side you're on.
Are we on the good side?
I should hope so. I always try to be.
But none of you seem sure though.
I mean, the Imperium has the agents of Kalesh working in their ranks, so they obviously are on the evil side.
I mean, that depends who you ask. I knew a lot of people
way
who would say that they're,
The
not
way I
evil.
see it, there's no certainty. There is no... We can't say for certain that any one thing is good or evil. All we can do is
I think there are
try
things out there that are
to be
evil.
good.
Kalesh is
Perhaps, but in the grander scheme of things, can you be certain?
I have
Yes.
seen objective evils. And I have seen objective goods, I think.
But when you get down to a personal level, just people,
yes.
can you say that
Yes.
someone stealing something is definitively bad?
No, of course not.
No.
I mean, property is fluid concepts.
Because
So
you said
pirates-
stealing is smuggling.
Stealing
And
can
I
be
did
smuggling, yes.
smuggle myself, and that wasn't bad.
Okay, here, let me frame it another way. If you steal water from someone, is that a bad thing to do?
Water
Depends
cannot
on who you
be
stole
If
it
they
from.
need it.
You, just a simple yes or no. If you steal water from someone, is that a bad thing to do?
No.
Maybe.
If,
Yes.
If
We're just
they are
shouting
hoarding,
everywhere.
if they are hoarding
Taking a
clean
lineman test
water,
right now.
and you and your people have no clean water, and you steal the clean water from them, was that bad?
Yes, because I can make water out of nothing.
No.
That's not...
I can't make water out of anything.
I knew that is entirely outside of the framework of the question. If you have no ability to produce clean water, if you have no access to clean water, and there are people across the road hoarding clean water, you go steal some of their clean water, because they don't need all of that, and we've killed someone.
We broke Lynn.
I love how
Episode
Scotty.
2.
your character's trying to be like, shades of grey exist, and everyone's like, no, it's black and white.
Episode 2, and we're discussing morals.
Oh, hold up. This is very in line with my character, I'm sorry. So if someone across the road from you has all of the clean water in the town, everybody else has no clean water, no one has the ability to produce clean water, and you go and steal clean water from them to bring back so that people have something to drink, not even to bathe with, just to drink, because everybody needs to drink clean water. Is that bad?
Yes, because you should have killed the one hoarding all of the water.
It's not bad, and you should have killed somebody holding all the water, yes.
I'm trying not to get into the complicated questions of whether or not murder is okay. All
You're
I'm
the one
talking about right now
complicating
is
it.
theft.
We're saying yes and no.
Well,
Do some people
It's
think that
bad.
it's
Everything is
okay?
complicated.
It's
The
bad
world is
for the people
complicated.
with the water, and good for the people who don't have the water.
Yes, but them hoarding the water when everybody else doesn't have clean water.
That's bad.
So,
Objectively bad, yes.
sometimes
make
you don't have the ability to fix the situation. Sometimes all you can do is compromise a little bit. Steal a little bit of the water because you don't have the resources necessary to fix the problem. If I don't have the resources to go kill the person who's hoarding all of the water, all I can do is steal a barrel here and there.
And curse him for the rest of his life. I agree, yes.
I do not have the ability to curse someone.
Is this the type
I
of
myself
jokes
can
that
be
we
a
have to
curse
get?
upon someone by continuing to steal from them.
Are we stealing water? Is that the plan?
That's what I've done in the past.
Is this just some lead up to Scarborough's like plan for a job?
I've stolen many things. Water is one of them. If somebody needs something and someone else is hoarding it, I can't necessarily go kill the person who's hoarding it, but I can usually at least steal some of what they're hoarding and bring it to the people who don't have it otherwise.
How do you make money?
Okay, so what I'm hearing, that water is worth coin and we should covet as much as we can and keep it all to ourselves.
No, absolutely
No.
not.
Can we go to a?
I will not
Can we
work
talk
with
about
someone who's
something
going
else?
to
This
hoard
is
something.
this is going too far. We're off the rails at this point.
Well, what I'm saying is, there
This
is
is-
money to
no,
be found in
this is-
smuggling in order to fuel
This is not what I wanted to keep doing.
our
No,
ventures on this ship.
Rye's gonna go do dishes.
So Rye stands up as Scarborough finishes and begins doing some dishes.
The only, as far as I am aware, morally good person in the party.
Yeah.
No,
There
I'm
are-
morally good.
There are.
Okay.
I'm also morally good. I'm just chaotic good.
Okay.
There are a number of other options. Smuggling is just the one I have the most connections to build. We could pick up any number of odd jobs.
Think Thicket is excited by the prospect of doing dishes and is going to go join Rye. Not because she isn't interested in the conversation, but it's just excited to help do the dishes too.
I glugged down the last of my meal, turned to V and said, "Can you help me figure out the console in my room?"
So, sure.
You've been on a ship before, right?
Yes, once before I have been on I've been known to be on a ship.
We need to figure out how to actually drive the ship.
Of course, I will take the dishes to the kitchen like you do when you know you're not going to be around to actually do the chore part, but you don't want to like just walk away from the table like an asshole.
You just stick it in the sink,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I
Just
just
like-
stick it in the sink.
run a little water on it.
Yeah,
Put them on the
exactly.
counter and you're like, I helped.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, I'm the asshole who leaves it at the table.
Oh, you're...
Scarborough is going to
The
collect
worst.
the dishes from the table.
Alright,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you all gather up your dishes, having filled your bellies with delicious food, and take them over to be washed by V and Thicket. Thicket, who seems very
Rye.
happy. Sorry, Rye and Thicket. While V and Anu head up top to examine the navigation console. Yeah. Are you doing anything in particular, Scarborough, or just gonna hang out?
Everyone had enough of this discussion. Just
I like to imagine it petered out like a normal conversation, and we, the players, just moved on.
That's how I feel.
yeah.
And,
yeah.
you know, I mean, we're not gonna roleplay the general, like, chit-chat between,
Oh,
like,
so you
oh,
think
yeah.
it's like totally normal to say that Birdie has some small talk? What a concept!
That's true.
I love how
Scarborough, like, what Scarborough's probably going to be doing is seeing if Ryan needs any help, you know, stocking the kitchen with his supplies. 'Cause
Cool.
it would be nice if I didn't have to pay for it all the time.
Yeah.
I want to say one thing real quick before I go on and say what Anu wants to do. I love that the snake person and the frog tiefling are friends.
Yes, of course we are.
Mhm.
Of course we have a lot in common.
Yeah.
So when we get up there, I am asking if you can help me figure out the console, but I also want your decorating help. Like, what should we put things like? I start taking the jewels out of my silks and stuff, so what's a good place to put this, do you think?
V is very much caught like a traditional straight man in a sitcom. He doesn't know.
Just where do you think would be most shiny?
You picked the wrong character to help with that.
No, I want V.
Here's the thing. I think you asked me questions like, where do you think we should put this? And he's making what at first seemed to be random decisions that are subconsciously influenced by his life.
That's fine. I love it.
Okay. Roll for interior design.
Yeah, let's roll for interior design. Where does my trauma come out as far as where we put the curtains? That's subconsciously influenced.
No, we only have gemstones right now.
We only have
Unless you want me to
gemstones.
get naked, because that's the only other silks I have. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
He only carries bondage leather, basically, so he's not help.
Fuck.
Yeah. So you begin assisting Anu in sort of,
Although I guess I could put my gold vestments somewhere.
yeah, sort of designating where you might want to place things, where things look good to you, while Rye and Thicket do some dishes, over a brief discussion by Scarborough and Rye about what to, fill their stores with when they get to Bastion. So you all are heading in the direction of Freedom Town, but you're not going to get there probably right away. You're going to get there in a couple hours or so. Are you all planning to sleep at all, or are you all going to stay awake while you wait for the arrival?
Sleep time.
I will do what I discussed.
Scarborough's
with you, Casey.
probably at least gonna take a nap.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay up the whole time.
Okay.
Sleep.
Are you doing like rounds or something?
Yeah, I think I'm just working the deck, acclimating to a new place and doing the rounds, like checking on people.
Okay. Then would he see Anu then? Still
Well,
Casey.
one of us
Yeah,
needs
that's
to
a
be
good
up to
question.
pilot the ship anyways.
Well, I don't think Anu would tell V that she's going to sleep, is the thing. So V would not necessarily have a reason to do rounds in the cabin, but are you going to be up on the top deck at some point, V?
I mean, one of us needs to be awake to pilot the ship the whole time. It's his thing, so yeah. He's gonna be like going everywhere and checking in and making sure that she can navigate okay, because he's the one who knows the stars. So
Okay.
yeah, he's going everywhere.
Okay,
Okay. Well,
but do you think he would need to roll a perception check?
Yeah, make it, like,
At least
difficult.
once.
well, what is your passive perception?
Me?
No. Anu, what is yours? Because this would be a passive perception check.
9.
Okay.
Passive perception.
Well, I don't think V is trying to, stealth around, so you would probably
No, but
hear him
I do technically
approaching.
have a passive stealth of 11, which does beat her passive perception.
Okay, that's very fair. Okay. So, Rye, are you resting as well, or are you...
Yep.
Okay. So you all sort of set up your little hammocks or set up in the bed, resting for the evening. V, you're a little too amped, a little too excited. You decide that you're gonna stay up while you make your way to Freedom Town, which you have been to before. So you begin doing rounds, in the ship, sort of subconsciously. You make your way across the deck after looking out at the clouds, enjoying the cool night air. And you open the cabin door to see
Anu appears to be just staring at where the console is, straight ahead, no movement. And if you look closely enough, her irises have turned white.
Okay, well, this is a private moment, and I'm a polite boy, so I close the door and I go back in.
Okay.
And I think nothing of it.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is this rest a short rest or a long rest?
This would technically count as a short rest because you will not have enough time before you get to Freedom Town.
Good to know.
Unless you are a race like the elves.
So it's 4 hours?
You have 4 hours.
Great.
So
it is
whatever.
a long rest for me.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Lynn, when you close the door, Anu's head whips around and
Oh,
you can
God.
just see the full thing. Not like all the way around, but like,
Yeah.
and just stares where you were.
Close the
straight.
door. Keep going about my polite boy business.
Do you visit the cockpit again in your rounds, V?
Yeah, of course. Do you think he learns from this experience
Okay.
at all? He's
Well-
like, well, she's probably meditating or something, so I'll give
Okay.
her some time, but he's gonna come back.
Then-
The first time you come back, the incense burner is going.
Ugh. But he's not a fan of that. But that's okay. I don't say anything. I just close the door and keep going with it. I'm nice! I'm not gonna do anything.
Okay, that's fine. I will just say, every time you come back, you do see Anu in that very same awkward and uncomfortable looking pose, sort of hunched over the wheel. Incense burner going, sort of, not filling the cabin, but just basically hotboxing the cabin, which is like a dream of like high school me. So,
That's funny.
kudos on that. Eventually, in your travels, in your travel through this sort of debris field of like floating bits of, rock and island that have broken off, you know that you are beginning to get within the area of Freedom Town and sort of begin just rousing your companions, just letting them know, like, hey, we're getting close. You sort of bring everyone about.
When Scarborough is up and around and getting back up on deck, first of all, his appearance has changed. He now has pink hair on top, nice pastel pink, and the sunny yellow is now tucked underneath in that lovely fluffy curly nonsense. His freckles have lessened drastically, and his eyes, instead of being a bright verdant green, are now this really like pale piercing spring green, like a nice frosty green. And he's walking with a little bit of a limp, not like he's injured, more like he's stiff, and he's adjusting the series of weird, intricate, loopy gold rings that he has on all of his fingers.
So as you begin to rouse your compatriots, you make your way up on deck to sort of see if you can spot it while you approach.
Anu is gonna turn to V and say, "Thank you for checking on me last night. That was very sweet."
Of course, I was hoping. Oh, yeah, sure. Definitely. I walk away.
V, as you walk away from this slightly awkward encounter, you see something cresting over one of the bits of debris. This large, black, shadowy, winged figure, flapping its wings and flying fast in
Do
your
I know what this is?
direction. I don't think so. No.
Okay, weapon out. I'm holding it up like I'm ready to swing.
As
and
you draw your
I yell to
weapon.
everybody to look.
You draw your weapon, you all hear this shout of V alerting you. V, watch as this impressively large, gray feathered griffin lands on the deck of your ship. And on the back of it is a very small figure, maybe about 3.5 feet tall, seafoam green skin, with a long, intricately designed rapier drawn. And this figure just says, I'm really sorry, but is there any reason that you're, like, coming here and not alerting anyone?
We've got no means
Yes.
by which to alert anyone.
We also
And
barely drive this ship.
on that note, we will go to our very first break.
Our very first break.
Our only
Our
break.
first of
we
one.
will go to our break. Yes, and we will come back with you encountering this strange figure on a griffin.
Great. Lovely.
Yeah, and we will all see what that's about. So, 10 minutes or so, refill your beverages, use the washroom, get a snack, and we will see you in about 10 minutes. Set my alarm right now.
Alright, we're on break.
And we are back from our break, folks. Alright. So picking right up where we left off, what do you all do in response to this? I imagine V is probably the only for sure one who's out on the deck.
I would still be in the not the cockpit, the bird's nest.
Crow's nest? Okay.
Crow's nest.
So you're up in the crow's nest, so
I'm in the snake nest.
you're in the snake nest.
I'm just watching.
I'm on the deck.
You know what? No. Thicket is in the cat nest.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, what do you all do? He said, why are you all approaching without giving us any indication that you're coming?
Don't think we have a way to indicate we're coming.
What? You don't have a radio?
I don't think so. We just got this ship, like, literally 6 hours ago.
Wait a minute. V? That's... I just saw you like a week or so ago.
Oh.
And he jumps down now, and you're able to see this small goblin man with a perpetual smile on his face, seafoam green skin. One of his ears has a sort of sizable cut in it, clad in a rather striking set of black scale armor lined with golden scales, and he's got his rapier, which he now sort of sheaths at his side. It's worked!
Yes, I'm sorry I didn't recognize Mr. Word. How are you?
I'm great! And it's so good to see you! Oh, and he pats the griffin next to him. It's okay, Ashley. These are friends. You're with some new people now. Are they good people? They didn't kidnap you, right?
No, as far as I'm aware, they didn't kidnap me. And I,
Okay.
smile.
I don't think I could kidnap him.
Well, I
We
don't
might
know.
have kidnapped Rye. I yelled down.
Who's Rye?
Is Rye on the deck?
I was gonna say, I assume I'm on the deck.
I point at Rye.
He looks at you, concern just instantly falling over his face. Did they kidnap you?
No.
Oh!
I don't know why they think they did.
Oh.
Because you didn't smuggle yourself. And you accidentally got here.
And God forbid anybody just wants to do stuff because they want to do stuff.
Is that
I
bad?
wave from inside the snake
No,
nest.
it's
He waves.
people should do things that they want to do. For the most part, there are exceptions.
Mr. Word, we
Yeah.
are hoping to come to Freedom Town, but I guess we don't have a way.
Oh, yeah.
Would you-
Yeah, of course. And he kind of pulls you a little, kind of pulls you to the edge. It's just down there, and it's kind of hidden by those rocks. You can see it, and you can see this sort of. It's hard to see from where you are, but you see there's like this sort of outpost there, sort of built into one of the larger pieces of floating debris.
Thank you.
Yeah, just follow me and Ashwin down, and then we'll get you all squared away. And maybe we have a radio. You gotta get yourself a radio, if not, because
Well,
I almost attacked you, or
I certainly
almost
don't want to be attacked.
tried to attack you. But,
How much would it cost for a radio?
I don't know.
Alright, I guess we'll find out when we get there.
Yeah. And he hops up onto the griffin and sort of, kicks, not like kicks, but like taps it at the sides, and it sort of lifts itself up and just dives over the side of it, heading down to the section of, the debris field that he pointed out.
That guy was weird.
Anu yells out, "Are we following him?"
Yes, follow Mr. Word, and I don't know, Mr. Kim, I think he's as strange as the rest of us.
Okay.
I've certainly met stranger. I'm gonna go up to the railing at the prow of the ship, and I'm just gonna climb up onto it and sit on it. I want to sit up there.
Okay?
Hey, how upset would you guys be if Anu's way of lowering us is just
A
dropping
nosedive?
us?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I'm not laughing at that. My cat just jumped into a mirror above my
Oh,
What
kitty.
a door.
pouncing.
Okay.
I love
I
it.
imagine Casey,
Yeah.
the descent starts slow, and then I would just get tired of going to someone just.
It's not
And
it's
then-
not a huge descent. It's like maybe 50 feet or so. It wouldn't be that slow. Like you could do it all, and it wouldn't feel slow. Is what I would
What
say.
are you doing?
But you can totally just drop them 50 feet if you want. I don't think it would work entirely like that, but
No, we'll try to go slow.
okay. So you come into the sort of tie-off area of the outpost. And what you see is built into one of the bits of floating debris a large wooden 3-storied structure with numerous antennae atop it and around it. There are several metal silos on either side of it, and there seems to be a very large open stable area, though there doesn't seem to be any animals there at the moment. There only seems to be one door into the multi-level structure, and above that hangs a stretch of cloth, and as you get a little closer, you can see the words Freedom Town written on it, and Freedom...
Is it with, like, a U instead of...
Yes, Freedom is spelled with a U instead of an O.
When we pull into port, I'm going to hop off of the railing, like, flat out jump off of the railing, and use my winged boots to walk myself down to the railing through the air to tie us to port.
Alright, so you all watch as Scarborough does this, basically like walking down air steps, basically, to get to this sort of, it's kind of like a built-in dock where you just sort of basically tie off and your ship sort of floats there. One of the constructions of an airship is that it basically floats on the air.
I'm gonna do that too.
You're gonna do that too?
Mm-hmm.
Do we both have winged boots?
Nope.
Okay.
So you just drop down superhero landing style?
No, I figure there's invisible steps or something.
Oh, great.
Oh, okay.
No.
I will say that
dexterity saving throw.
I think she could pull off not a terrible landing, but we'll see what the dice say.
I was afraid she would fall through the crack and just keep going down.
Yeah, really.
That is the risk.
Thicket dies, session 2.
It's an 11. With
So-
my cats always land on their feet bonus.
As you sort of follow Scarborough's lead, you realize he's got a magic item that lets him do that. And you kind of reflexively grab onto the ship with your claws, sort of going down as your claws sort of scrape
Tear them up a
against
little.
the metal. It's kind of like your claws against the blackboard, the sound. And then you kick off the ship, landing on the dock. It looks surprisingly cool, but your heart inside is beating intensely and is in your throat as you think,
Oh boy.
holy shit, that almost killed me.
I go out to the railing and call out, Miss Thicket,
Hi.
are you insane?
I think I might be.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yes, I'm okay.
I'm sorry, I should have warned you not to follow me, I guess.
No, in hindsight, the idea of invisible steps is silly. I was just excited.
I'm sure there are places where there are invisible steps. This is not one of them, I don't think.
How did you do that?
My boots. And I'm gonna, I don't quite kick a foot out because Scarborough's still a little stiff. Still warming back up. But, just gonna kind of do a couple little quick steps.
They're very nice.
They're, quite helpful when you're up on ships a lot in the air. I don't particularly want to fall.
No. Neither do I. She's just gonna go catch her breath while everyone else comes down.
I go down on the ladder like a normal person.
Smart. So you all, Scarborough ties the boat up to the dock, and you all descend to the ladder. Wirt has landed, and he has let his griffin into the large stable, and it seems to have disappeared around a corner. He's sort of standing in front of the door, smiling I don't know, happily, stupidly, however you want to classify it. You know what? He's smiling the way Bucky would smile. Kind of that, like, he doesn't really have a negative thought in his head whatsoever, this individual right here.
He doesn't have
He's
he
lucky
doesn't
he
have
has
any
thoughts at
negative
all.
thoughts because he doesn't have any thoughts.
Pretty much. He's just like, I'm just having a really good time right now.
Just happy to be here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And you all make your way over. He opens the door and lets you inside. And those of you who follow him enter a large open room that is part tavern, part lounge. To the back of the room where you enter, to the back of the room from where you enter is a set of stairs and a door that's slightly ajar. To the right is a large 4-pillar open fireplace. And just beyond that, sort of surrounding it, there's a trio of circular wooden tables in front of a finely polished and well-stocked wooden bar. 4 plush and comfortable-looking couches are situated along some of the walls of the room, and in the far left corner is what looks to be a well-used hookah. Wirt turns to you and he says, "Welcome to Freedom Town!"
Thank you, Mr. Webb.
I clap
Welcome
politely.
back for some of you. Who's never been here before?
That be me.
I
Okay.
raise my hand.
Hello, new friends. I'm Wirt.
Hi, what?
I guess I run Freedom Town. I don't know. Me and my crew of friends, we run Freedom Town. And any individuals like yourself who are not friendly with the Imperium can use this as a sort of rest stop for the night. So we've got some supplies if you're in dire need of stuff, fuel, some food. Nothing great though. I wouldn't kill for some meat.
Oh, I know exactly how you feel.
Well,
Some nice bones.
Are you going to eat us?
No, no. Like goat meat is the best kind of meat. Goat meat. Remember that.
Okay.
He looks at all of you very seriously. Goat meat. Okay. No,
You've never had Drake jerky before then.
I haven't. Drake jerky. Okay. He pulls something out and writes it, and then shoves it back. Okay.
I have a
so-
quick question, Casey, that I don't think anyone is going to understand.
Yeah.
I have this vague recollection that when we finally did find goat meat for Wirt, original Wirt, it wasn't actually goat meat.
Correct.
But Rye does not know that.
No.
There is an NPC in this world who knows that.
Well, it's late right now. Most everyone else is asleep. Wolfheart's asleep. Antani is sleeping, I think. Jay and Adrian are not here right now because we're out of supplies. Well, some supplies, like meat. Yeah. And he just kind of trails off like that.
Alright.
Do you need anything smuggled?
Mm.
Bucky. What are you doing, buddy?
No.
Oh, okay.
Can we trade water for you with anything? Is that valuable at all?
I think we're currently in more need of water than...
Oh, we have water.
We don't need water.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
can create water.
we have water if you need it. We we've got some food. Mushrooms, a lot of mushrooms. Yeah.
Mr. Ryan, Mr. Rhodes, did you create a list of items that we would need for the ship's storehouse?
I imagine that they're still pretty good based on what Rye bought to bring on the ship.
Yeah, based on what you have and what you bought, AJ, you didn't use.
Yeah,
like,
it
all
hasn't
of your
even been a whole
stuff.
day.
But yeah, it's just setting up a new kitchen basically is what you're doing in the process of doing now.
There are a few things I'm looking for in addition.
Sure. We'll try to help.
Have anything that we could use by starting, like oil?
Yeah, we've got some
Right.
for like lamps and stuff, right? Lamp oil.
Yes, or anything that could be used in general for
Okay.
arts purposes.
Oh. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know we've got some, but I'm not supposed to go in that room.
I understand. Quick question. What does the ship have in terms of defenses? Like, do we have a cannon on our ship or no? Is there, like, nothing?
At the moment, nothing.
Alright, good to know.
We have an eldritch cannon.
And Mr. Words, what do you have in the way of weapons?
Oh, well, and he draws his rapier. The best one, right here.
What's Mr. Words?
These meant for sale?
Oh, you can't buy this. This is mine. Well, what are you looking for?
Ideally for something along the lines of a large crossbow, ballista, some form of cannon, or maybe a large scythe.
I could look in Jay's workshop. I'm not supposed to go in there, but if you need stuff, I'm sure she'd understand.
We don't want to get you in trouble. You said it was late. We can
Of course not,
talk
Mr.
this over
Words.
time.
He said it's fine.
Fine.
I leave it to your discretion.
It's not gonna be fine. That isn't even like my out of character knowledge. Like Rye does not think that's a good idea.
Yeah. I am looking for bedding.
We have some spare bedding. I don't know how comfy it will be.
Well, I can hold off.
Do you have any silks or wind chimes or stained glass?
No.
Do you have any teeth?
Yes.
Teeth would be lovely as well.
No. Loose teeth.
Yes.
Okay, I take them from him.
No, these are my teeth.
Alright, well, do you have any teeth that could become my teeth?
Are you a tiefling?
I could part with this one.
I am a tiefling, yes.
And this one. And this one.
Lynn is just rude. Perfect face for it, though.
I do really appreciate the comedic timing of Lynn's internet.
How many teeth did he give me? I must know.
He pulled out one of his
He
teeth.
gave you
to give
3,
you.
and one of them he's giving you 2 from his own collection and 1 from his own head
That he just pulled out
that
of
he
his
just
face.
yanked out. 1, 2, 3.
Okay,
Boy,
I take
howdy.
the third one and I say, more appreciate your sacrifice, word. It will not be forgotten.
Sure. I don't
Maw,
know
do
who
I know
is.
that?
Uh,
Right.
doesn't sound
Lucky.
like it doesn't sound like anything familiar to you.
I put the teeth in my pocket.
Okay. You have
I
acquired
don't clean the
3
blood off.
teeth. Yeah,
It's
one
like
of them
put
is
the lime in the coconut,
one
but
of
if I
them is
put my
bloody.
teeth in the pocket.
yeah.
Yep, I have 3 teeth now.
And yeah, you're welcome to stay the night here if you want. We have guest quarters. They're on the 2nd floor, right up there. And yeah.
Would it be alright if I lit some incense and meditated here?
Sure.
If you would like, you'd be more than welcome to join.
Can I join?
I don't
Yes,
know
of
how to
course.
meditate.
Oh, don't worry. You can just enjoy the fragrance of the incense.
Okay.
It's a hallucinogenic.
Come get high with me, Word.
I don't
I'm
know
not
what a
creepy at
hallucinogenic.
all, Word.
What's a halogen there?
It makes you see.
It
It
makes you
brings
see
one
things that aren't
closer to the divine.
It
Oh.
makes you see things that aren't there.
Doesn't he have a
Oh!
hookah in here?
There is a hookah in here. Doesn't
Yeah,
you
but
don't
a
know if
hookah
it's
can
his.
just be tobacco.
Okay, that's fair.
I rested enough on the ship. I'll probably just wander.
Sure. I would suggest not going in the
I won't
communications room.
enter any rooms that look like I'm not supposed to be in them, don't worry.
Well, it's fine, but the communications room, I would say, don't enter without me, because you might get punched.
Good to know.
Yeah, and that goes for all of you. And unless you want to get punched, I don't know.
If the circumstance arises, I know where to go.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And what if you do not wish to join? Please, if you think of anyone who might, they are welcome too.
Tani might join you when she's done sleeping. Tani likes all that halogenic stuff.
Holographic.
Yeah, that stuff.
I look forward to meeting her.
Excellent. Well, I guess help yourself. I am gonna go sleep. Probably.
Rest well.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye, new friends.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Word.
And he darts up the stairs, disappearing.
I appreciate
Time to smoke this place up.
Wirt a lot more when I'm not playing Adrian. Adrian was an asshole to Wirt.
So what are you all getting up to?
Smoking this place up.
All right.
Did Thicket say she would want to join?
She did
Yeah,
Is that what I
but that
heard?
was before the hallucinogenic, so now she's weighing that up.
It's very mild. No more than drinking alcohol might give you visions.
I can join you, Miss Thicket, if it makes you more comfortable.
Yes.
Rye's just gonna go to bed. He didn't get a full night's sleep. He's tired.
Aww.
Is
Good
Rye
boy.
sleeping? Is Rye sleeping here or on the ship?
I guess here.
Okay.
I think it's
so you-
never had alcohol, I don't think. So,
Yeah,
that
no, I
ref-
don't think so.
yeah, so that
Second
reference
again,
wouldn't
by
really
the
mean
way?
anything. How old did I make her? 19?
I believe you made her between 19 and 21. She's young.
She's young, but as an Australian, she's old enough to drink.
That's valid.
Yeah. As a Sky Australian. So, Rai, you make your way upstairs to the guest quarters that Ward pointed out. It's just a large room, 6 beds of fair size that look to have some slightly plush and decently comfortable looking bedding.
Yeah, it's a real bed.
It is a real bed.
Bungo chum.
Bungo Chomp! He's been so bitey lately.
Affectionate biting.
Yeah, I guess he's opening up that part of his personality to me now.
Yeah.
And as I smoke us up, Anu starts telling a story of a girl who was raised in a cult, and the family went to go and sacrifice her to the destroyer, and then Kalesh came down to save her and just killed the rest of her family, and thus she became the first cleric of Kalesh.
Definitely not based on true events.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And she's very clear to tell them that it was from over 100 years ago is when this story originates.
Miss Anu, can I ask you a question?
Yes?
Kalesh, what is she? Is she a large bird by chance? A phoenix?
Not at all, no.
Did you almost get sacrificed?
I'm sorry?
Did you almost get sacrificed?
Yes, I did.
Huh. I'm sorry.
They're dead now.
Yeah, but you're not.
I'm alive and they're dead. That's all that matters in the end.
Well, I'm sorry it happened. But I guess I'm happy for you that they're dead.
It is something to suffer, but...
I want to remind you guys, Anu looks like young. She looks around Thicket's age, honestly.
Young?
Though I doubt Thicket. I feel like it would be hard to read a cat person's age.
Yeah. It is.
Cat
That's very
person,
true.
snake
They would
person,
be-
same difference.
They would be child, long
Yeah.
span of adult, and then
Dead.
very old.
Basically, yeah. Scarborough, while all of this smoking up and storytelling is happening, what are you getting up to?
I'm probably in the engine room examining things, trying to get a feel for how it all fits together, how
Cool.
it works.
Cool. Make me a perception check.
Great. Are there eyes in the engine room again? What the fuck is my perception?
I don't know.
Okay, that's 21.
As you are working in the engine room, late into the evening, having fully rested on your time here, sort of just examining all the pieces, sort of seeing like, oh, this is how this works together. Like, okay, I see how you're beginning to see the intricacies of this whole engine coming together. When suddenly something catches just the briefest corner of your eye,
Yeah.
a humanoid figure. It's hard to really determine any sort of features beyond just this humanoid figure with terrified eyes reaching out to you.
Okay.
And it looks like they're trying to say something or speaking, but you can't hear anything. And you see this for a moment before it flickers away.
Okay. I'm gonna take a very deep breath. I'm gonna breathe out real slow.
Uh-huh.
Say, alright, Scarborough. You don't have a history of seeing things. So, Either something new is happening, or the engine room is haunted, or something else is going on.
Or some of Anu's vapor got put down there somehow.
Or all of the above.
Whatever it is, you're going to stay home, and you can handle this. And I'm gonna go inspect the spot where I saw this apparition.
Okay. Make me a perception check. No, investigation check.
I'm not as good as that at that.
That's
I think.
Lucky.
I'm not as good at it, but I did get a nat 20, which is a total of 21.
Nice. So, examining the spot that you saw the apparition at, there's really nothing of note that was left behind. You sort of feel around for any kind of dampness, any kind of residue that might have been left behind. There's nothing, there's no dust, there's no trace that you find.
Does it feel chilly or anything?
All I will say is that what you discover is just the wiring of the ship, which you basically uncover more. You sort of basically peel back one of the floorboards and kind of see that there are wires from the engine connecting to the rest of the ship. And that is all you unfortunately see at the moment.
Right. Scarborough is going to take another deep breath and let it out real slow and say, alright, there's something here, and if it's terrified, it probably isn't going to hurt me. Or it might hurt me, but it's not really its fault. Or there's nothing here, in which case I'm going to be fine regardless. And I'm gonna keep looking around the engine room. I just want to get a good mental map of how it all fits together.
Okay.
Lucky.
I will say, given your past perception and investigation, I'll just sort of combine those together, and I assume you're going to spend as much time as you might need to.
Scarborough, he doesn't want to pull things apart until he knows what they do, how they fit together, but he will, follow wiring through to various sections. He's basically just trying to figure out exactly how the ship functions and what fuels it.
Oh my god.
Right. So you are beginning to get a much better sense of how the engine is put together and how it interacts with the rest of the ship. You know that this specific engine is a custom design on the regular Mercer engine, which normally just runs on... Shut up. On ethereal, which is the processed form of the energy that was harvested at Skyrun, that ore that you set on fire. They process that into a very efficient fuel. That is the main source of fuel for these engines. However, this engine is enhanced with a few features. You find that it has solar sails to draw power from, so it is much more fuel efficient. And you also find that it has some kind of unique internal power source that you have never seen before.
Oh, that's gonna get his attention. He
Yeah.
needs to watch that, inspect it, try to understand how it functions, because power can't just come from nowhere.
Unless you are taking the engine apart to look at it. All you know is that it is a part of the engine, and that is where an enormous source of energy is coming from.
Okay. He's probably not going to take the engine up. Well, if he were going to take the engine apart, this would be the place to do it.
You could get Thicket's help.
True.
Okay.
Thicket is resting.
Well, no, Thicket's getting high. And then I assume resting.
Yeah.
Scarborough's just kind of planning on letting everybody else get the sleep that they need to finish getting.
By the way, is anyone else sleeping in the guest quarters? Or are people sleeping on the ship?
I'll sleep in the guest quarters too once I do this.
Okay. Where are you sleeping, Anu?
Anu's not sleeping.
Bucky!
Right.
Bucky's being a menace. He's trying to eat my mic.
That's not food, Bucky.
He is, baby.
Chomp chomp. Time to play with the cord.
Stop.
Yeah, but
No
so
cord.
over the course of the
No
night,
food.
this is what you are able to piece together, Scarborough. Are you doing anything in particular through the night, Anu? Or just sort of...
Oops.
No, you don't have to be.
No, wrong message I sent to Lynn.
Oh, okay. Oh, something
No
you
dice.
meant to send to me.
No dice.
Okay.
What the fuck, yo? That shit sus as hell. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well,
Shh.
I will just say, you need to be very careful of what you say and who you're saying it to.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Okay.
She's smoking everyone up.
Yeah, I will say, Thicket and V, you both have these very, vivid dreams of that story that Anu told you. You see this young woman being dragged to a ceremonial stone altar and put upon it, and all these people chanting in a language you don't understand.
V wakes up in a cold ass sweat. I don't think he can handle that dream for very long.
Thicket, do you sustain yourself through the dream?
Thicket, you
But it's not fun.
see more of the dream as death comes closer to this young woman in the shape of a stone knife held in the hand of one of these individuals, held up as if it's going to be plunged down. And as soon as the hands come down, the dream sort of flashes, and all you can see are the dead bodies of these cult members laying all around.
Right. Are you gonna come back up and be a man?
Surprisingly, you don't see any blood on the altar.
I think when she wakes up, she's gonna go like see Anu.
No?
Oh, wait, what?
Hello?
How are you still with us?
I don't
What
know.
the
You
fuck?
guys can hear me then?
Yeah.
We can see
Yeah,
you.
literally, my
Just
laptop's
everything
not
went
charging
dark.
anymore. Everything's still like pitch black. Everything's off.
Oh no.
But
Oh,
you've still
That's
got internet.
The
weird.
Wi-Fi's on though.
that's
So that
so
rules.
magical.
it must be a breaker then?
Hold
Or
on,
your
what?
Wi-Fi has
Hold
a
on,
bat,
wait.
or
What was
your
that?
Wi-Fi has an internal battery.
Maybe maybe that wall outlet just went out.
Yeah.
Who knows? Can I say after this stream, which is spooky. It's affecting the real world now. He's thinking about some specific stuff that's happened to him in his life, and that has happened to other people in his life. And I think, he's not because of who he is as a person. He sits out on the deck and he just like thinks about it. And I think he just forces himself to think about the dream and about the imagery that he saw and about, his own obsidian altar and about the things that have happened. And he just thinks about it and forces himself to think about it until he's not sweating anymore. Until he can. Oh, it's back on.
Great.
Weird.
Yep. He just forces himself to stare at it, to not hide from his thoughts.
Okay. Yeah, you all have this evening. I would say, Bri, you don't have a spooky, scary dream like that. You have, a pleasant enough dream.
You have pleasant, sweet dreams filled with lots of sugar and candy.
And bread.
Honestly, probably.
Yeah.
Aww.
And a cinnamon roll on your face.
Just, yep, I have a cinnamon roll on my face.
Yeah. What are your plans for this day?
I am going to launch myself off of the ship when I think everyone is probably awake and go find people.
All right.
Yeah.
Specifically,
I'll talk to
V and Thicket.
Okay, so
I think it's an early riser.
I will say you make your way. Those of you who are staying in the guest quarters make your way down to the sort of tavern lounge area, and kind of enjoy a casual breakfast, have a beverage or of some kind, as Scarborough pushes the door open and enters, looking a little distraught.
Alright, I need help. I think.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. How did you all sleep?
Terribly.
I'm so sorry.
I slept great.
I'm glad. I'm so sorry.
I'm guessing Anu slept very well.
I slept wonderfully.
How?
Good.
Are you okay?
Of course.
Thicket puts her hand on yours.
Aww.
Just gently.
I think... Okay, let me start with the mundane, well, sort of mundane part first. Thicket, I was hoping to get your help, with the engine room. I'm trying to sort out a mental map of how the ship functions, and there's a power source that I'm hoping to get at to understand how it works. And I figured you would probably be the best bet to help me with that. Or
I don't know
would
much
help
about
you.
ships, but I know how to take things apart.
We'll figure it out. And I would very much like if you would also be there, because the engine room might be haunted. Or not.
I understand.
I don't.
There, I
You need
saw
me
He's
to
like,
hit
I
a
was also
ghost."
haunted in my dreams last night.
While you were resting, I, because I did not need more rest, I spent the night, sorting out the engine room and figuring out how it all works together, right? And I saw a figure An apparition, perhaps. I do not have a history of seeing things that are not there. That's not something I've ever really had happen before, so I can't say that it's just something in my head. I saw something there, and it looked scared.
If you're looking for somebody who might soothe the ghost, I think you should take Mr. Rye. I tend to be an intimidating figure.
Well, it's less that, and it's more... well, Rye wouldn't be a bad option either, to be perfectly honest.
Rye can't do shit against ghosts.
My entire thought process
Surprised you're not going for the cleric.
is, my entire thought process is that we need, I don't know, I just need people down there to watch things, because if Thicket and I are focusing on whatever this power source is, we may not be able to watch the rest of the room
Of course.
for this apparition if it shows up again.
And if this apparition does show up, is it you don't want it gone?
I want to know what it is, and why it looks so scared.
Of course. I can help with that.
So-
Maybe.
Anyway, that's what I would like to do. I know we have a lot of other things to handle as well.
We can
Would you
help with
like
that.
me to try to handle things while you deal with the ship?
That wouldn't be a bad idea. I know that you can create water, but I think it would still be a good idea to have a stock of water on hand already.
I mean, I can create at least 10 gallons at a time.
That's fine. I just think, for the sake of if you do not have the energy one day, or if you're not present one day, it would be a good idea to have a stock of water that is not reliant on your ability to create it.
Very well.
Mr. Rye, what's your intention for the day?
I was gonna go talk to some people. Maybe get some information.
What?
Find something for us to smuggle.
We don't always need to smuggle stuff.
I think it's a good
One option.
thing to be doing.
It can be.
I would like to improve my talents in the area.
I'm gonna give 100 gold to Anu and 100 gold to Mr. Rye, and I say, that's my money. If you find anyone selling a weapon, you should buy it, especially if it's a ballista or like a cannon.
Also, we do need the radio, so don't forget to find out how much that is.
So guess I'm going shopping too.
If it is
I'm
convenient.
I'm going to try to find the cannon and such first, Casey. But you know I gotta do my priest on a fucking corner shtick.
I just want to put it out there. V gave you guys that gold if you happen to find anybody, so don't worry about actually, like, setting out after it. He just wants you to have the gold just in case, since he's going to be on the ship all day.
All right. Okay. So with some tasks at hand, with a nice night's rest under your belts, and some new friends met, maybe?
Well, one new friend.
At least one new friend. You all set about preparing for your new day. And I think that's where I will call this session. 'Cause
Blame it on Bucky. He needs attention.
Bucky's very cute, and he deserves attention.
Oh, I want to play more D&D, but that's a good point. He deserves it.
I want to play more
Yeah.
so bad.
Plus, we probably should let Casey plan some things for next week.
I do have, like, I've got all this day prepped. Just, I don't know how much of it we would get through in the time. You know what? We'll go through some of it at least. Maybe we'll do the shopping stuff ahead of time because that's easy enough. So Anu and Rai, you head off to acquire some supplies for the group. As you enter Freedom Town, Wirt is the only one that you can see there. He waves at you, smiling from his post at the bar. He's kind of just sitting there. Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. So, aside from the weaponry,
Yeah.
what exactly were we supposed to be buying? 'Cause, like,
Water.
just water.
Supplies for the ship. Like
That's so vague, though. What do you mean by supplies for the ship?
I
Nobody
assume
specified.
food and water. And
We have food.
Oil?
oh, oil
Oil,
for the
okay.
lanterns. And
Oil for arson.
and
Arson oil.
and a weapon, like a weapon for the ship, if it was available. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll look for water. We'll look for oil. If he happens to see a weapon, he'll pick up the weapon.
Maybe
And
some
he's
like
also going to ask about
The
any
radio.
hints about the legendary bakers.
And the radio.
And the
And I-
radio. I did have that on my list, and I just forgot about it.
And I
Great.
keep inviting people to smoke them up.
Right. So, as you approach work asking for these supplies, we could give you some food, some dried mushrooms and fruits and stuff. We've got some water, and we've got some ale. We can spare some. We don't really have a weapon that could be on the ship.
Do you have maybe a blueprint we might be able to use? I think Miss Thicket is very handy.
Well, I did see something, but
We would, of course, pay for it.
Okay, she will mind. And you see him dart up the stairs. You hear like some crashing and like stereotypical like other room music.
Oh, no.
Why do I feel like she will very much mind?
She will.
And he comes down carrying a blueprint. He goes, "Ta-da! Here."
Oh, thank you. I'll be sure to show Miss Thicket.
And if you look at it, it is more or less the blueprints you would need to make some kind of, for lack of a better term, Tesla cannon. It doesn't have the
Great.
specifics on like how you would turn that into like a cannon, but that's the easy part. These are the schematics for making the coil, getting it to charge properly, all the
Cool.
stuff you
Hey,
need
Tesla
for that.
cannon is way better than a normal cannon.
I
Yeah.
told you I would give you special cannons for this ship. This is one of them.
What do I owe you, Wirt?
Don't worry about it.
Are you sure?
She's got another one up there, and maybe 10 gold, because she might be a little bit mad, and then I can just say, but they paid for it, and that will make her happy.
Well, alright. If she is still unhappy, please invite her while we're still here to join with me for the incense. I'm sure that will calm her spirits.
If she's back by that time, then yes. Takes your 10 gold, and yeah, you have now acquired the blueprint for the beginnings of a Tesla cannon. He is able to provide you the rest of the stuff, the food and water, which comes to about 10 gold. That's all that he's able to give, is probably about 10, 15 gallons of water, and maybe like 4 days rations for everyone. It's not a lot, but it is, it's better than nothing. So, that's all we're really able to give right now. Oil as well. Yeah, and he, puts together a small keg of oil that can be used for filling vials, filling lanterns, whatever your arsonist heart desires.
You have been oh so kind to us, Wirt.
Of course!
Did you say something about a radio?
Yes! Radio! Okay. One sec. And he goes upstairs and opens the door right across from the guest room with a key, and sort of scoots inside. You hear him talking to someone, but you don't hear another voice there. And he comes back with a large radio setup, dragging one of the mics on the ground, because that's how he does. Here. I don't know how much this is, but take it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I guess.
This will make sure that you don't get shot out of the sky.
By accident.
No, purposely.
No, if someone is trying to shoot us.
Well, yeah. But if you didn't have a radio to tell them that you're a good person, they would shoot you out of the sky. And they would do so on purpose. But without knowing that you're a good person.
You've been so kind to us, Wirt. Is there anything I could do to help you in your lot? Maybe some healing that needs to be done?
I don't think so. We're all pretty healthy. Yeah. I guess, Nope, I can't think of anything.
Well, you know where to find us while we're still here.
Yes, and then I won't.
That's very right.
Yeah.
That's how moving works.
Yes.
She was completely serious. I wasn't like condescending.
Oh yeah, no, and he was also 100% serious. Yeah. So while that is happening, those of you on the ship, what are you all getting up to?
Going down to check it out.
Okay. I would like some type of engineering check.
I've got several tool proficiencies. Tinker's tools are probably the most close.
Yeah, I will say, give me a skill that you think would be fitting to taking apart and putting together an engine.
I will
Intelligence?
help with
Or
everything I've discovered
Yeah.
through the night.
So, Thicket, if you could make me a Tinker's Tools roll.
6. I rolled very badly, so that's an 11.
Okay. You are not able to. You can keep trying, but it's just going to take longer. So you can try again if you want.
That's a 10.
Okay. I will give you one more try, and then I think it will probably be a little too late in the evening. You got a natural 1, didn't you?
No, but in total it's an 8.
Okay. So...
I'm good at this, I swear. She's not tried a ship before.
Yeah, that's the thing. Altogether, like, you are able to sort of see how everything sort of fits together, but it's just... You're not really able to attack it at the right way, I guess, so to speak.
I feel like it's that thing where you're like pushing or pulling on something and you know it has to go that way, but it feels like you're going to break it, so you don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, that's basically the situation you are in now, where you're like, I know, maybe I'm not, doing this hard enough, but I feel if I do it any harder, it'll break. So...
She can't help you.
Well, that's alright.
Why do you need to get in there so bad?
I just want to... So this device is providing quite a lot of power, and I'm not certain how, and I want to understand it. Because power can't come from nowhere.
It's probably magic.
Yes, but what sort? And do we need to replenish it, or...
I don't think you know enough about the workings of enginery to attempt that.
Like, I know that we get some power from the sails, which collect solar power, but most of our power seems to come from this device. And I just want to understand it. Because if it breaks, and we don't understand it, how can we fix it? Or, if it needs to be replenished, what do we replenish it with? As far as I can tell, this does not take ethereal like most airships do.
It does.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah.
But the device that's providing the energy doesn't seem to.
No. It does. It uses ethereal, but it like, I would say the breakup is like 40% of the power is coming from this thing. Yeah. Like, and then probably another 30 from solar and 30 from ethereal.
Okay.
Well, maybe as we travel, I can keep looking at it and try and figure it out. I know I can. I just think my brain
obviously we
doesn't like it
mess
right now.
with it when we're stopped somewhere. And in Bastion we may be able to get our hands on someone who can help, who's more experienced with engines. Or there may be someone particularly experienced with engines here. It's alright though, thank you for your help. I'm still not sure about the apparition that I saw in here, but I suppose we'll just have to keep an eye on things.
one last question, actually. Thicket has one more thought, I guess, about trying to get in. Is it... How... Are there ways to get at the source that are available, but just too small for us?
What do you mean?
Like, if there are...
Like,
'cause we
are your
can't-
hands too small to get at some of the screws? Kind of thing?
Too big to get
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
small- Yeah.
Sort of, yeah. There
Or is it,
are...
like, grates or bits we can't get around? Yeah.
Basically, just in that moment, it was just like, you know, like your brain was a little too fuzzy. Like you were able to see how everything was put together. You just didn't want to risk breaking anything, so you didn't push it more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I have a plan for next time.
Excellent. Well, you can let me know that. So, as the five of you wrap up your activities for the day, some of you having a little bit more success than others, unfortunately, you all prepare to either rest for the evening or head off to Bastion. But that is something for the next episode. This is where I'm going to leave us for sure this week. Yeah. So that is it for now. Yeah. Let me know what your plan is, May, because I might be able to give you some ideas or whatnot.
I will send you a
Yes.
message.
Excellent. Well, thank you all for playing. It was a ton of fun, and thank you, Bucky, for stealing the show.
They're sleeping in the background.
You are a delight, and we love you, and you are a proud member of the queer TTRPG stream family. We love you, boy. Yes, but I love you all very much. You make the weeks better and have kept me from losing my entire shit in this ridiculous...
Gay.
Yes, very good. Very good. But aside from our love for each other, we also have immense love for you all, viewers and listeners out there. Thank you all for taking the time to have some shenanigans with us, to enjoy our silly shenanigans. But we will see you all next week. Same queer time, same queer channel. And as we always say, wear a mask, stay safe, wash your hands, and more importantly, take care of one another.
Steal water for each other.
Yes, steal water for one another.